Hello everyone, welcome to another series of today's GK. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, consider the following statements regarding National Green Tribunal. 1. The National Green Tribunal was established in 2015. 2. NGT is not bound by the procedure laid down under the Code of Civil Procedure. 3. It is guided by principles of natural justice. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Recently, Mr. Justice Adarsh Kumar Goyal, chairperson of National Green Tribunal, completed his tenure of 5 years. The National Green Tribunal has been established on 18 October 2010 under the National Green Tribunal Act 2010 for effective and expeditious disposal of cases relating to environmental protection and conservation of forest. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It is a specialized body equipped with the necessary expertise to handle environmental disputes involving multidisciplinary issues. The tribunal shall not be bound by the procedure laid down under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 but shall be guided by principles of natural justice. Hence, statements 2 and 3 are correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Now, let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements regarding Chandrayaan 3. 1. It is India's third attempt to land on the moon. 2. The landing would happen about a month later. 3. It does not have an orbiter component. How many of the statements given above is or are not correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option A, only one. Recently, ISRO has announced to launch Chandrayaan 3 between July 13 to July 19. It is India's second attempt to land on the moon. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The landing would happen about a month later, sometime in the middle of August. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Unlike the Chandrayaan 2 mission, Chandrayaan 3 does not have an orbiter component. Hence, statement 3 is correct. The lander and rover are designed to operate and collect data on the moon's surface for one lunar day, which is equivalent to approximately 14 days on Earth. After the landing, the rover would separate itself from the lander and move around on the surface of the moon, carrying out experiments and collecting data. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding COP27 of UNFCCC. 1. The conference took place in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. 2. Under it, AWARE was launched. 3. Under it, Loss and Damage Fund was initiated. How many statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option C, all three. Recently, 4th July 2023 is recorded as the hottest day for the Earth ever. After this, so many environment experts are saying that the member countries need to follow the recommendations of COP27. In November 2022, the government of the Arab Republic of Egypt hosted the 27th session of the Conference of the Parties of the UNFCCC or COP27 with a view to building on previous successes and paving the way for future ambition to effectively tackle the global challenge of climate change. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The United Nations Climate Change Conference COP27 signed an agreement to provide loss and damage funding to vulnerable countries. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Action on Water Adaptation and Resilience Initiative or AWARE has been launched to reflect the importance of water as both a key climate change problem and a potential solution. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding internationalization of rupee. 1. It is a process that involves decreasing the use of the rupee in cross-border transactions. 2. It involves promoting the rupee for import and export trade and then other current account transactions. 3. It mitigates currency risk for Indian businesses. How many of the statement or statements given above is or are not correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option A, only one. Recently, India is aiming to make the rupee a global currency. Pushing for a roadmap towards the internationalization of the rupee, the Reserve Bank of India's interdepartmental group said, with India remaining one of the fastest growing countries and showing remarkable resilience in the face of major headwinds, the rupee has the potential to become an internationalized currency. Internationalization is a process that involves increasing the use of the rupee in cross-border transactions. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It involves promoting the rupee for import and export trade and then other current account transactions followed by its use in capital account transactions. These are all transactions between residents in India and non-residents. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The use of the rupee in cross-border transaction mitigates currency risk for Indian businesses. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding defamation. 1. Defamation is an offense under criminal law only. 2. The right under Article 19 is absolute in nature. 3. An accused individual must have created or disseminated defamatory content for an offense to be proven. How many of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none. The correct answer is option A, only 1. Recently, the Gujarat High Court is set to pronounce its judgment on Friday on former Congress President Rahul Gandhi's plea to stay the conviction in the criminal defamation case in which he has been sentenced to 2 years in jail by a court in Surat. In India, defamation is categorized as either criminal or civil, and both types are covered by the Indian Penal Code and the Code of Civil Procedure. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The right to freedom of speech and expression is protected under Article 19 of the Constitution. However, this right is not absolute, and restrictions can be placed on it in the interest of public order, morality, and reputation of individuals. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. An accused individual must have created or disseminated defamatory content for an offense to be proven. While creating typically refers to authorship, someone who intentionally or knowingly duplicates or copies defamatory content with intent, for example, may also be held accountable. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Indus Water Treaty. 1. It is a treaty between India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. 2. It was brokered by World Bank. 3. It consists of sharing water of 6 rivers. How many of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none. The correct answer is option B, only 2. Recently, Pakistan has expressed the hope that India would implement the Indus Waters Treaty in good faith after New Delhi on July 6 said it cannot be compelled to participate in illegal proceedings at the Permanent Court of Arbitration over the Kishanganga and Ratel hydropower projects in Kashmir. The Indus Waters Treaty was signed on September 19, 1960 between India and Pakistan and brokered by the World Bank. Hence, statement 1 is not correct and statement 2 is correct. The treaty prescribed how water from the 6 rivers of the Indus River system would be shared between India and Pakistan. Hence, statement 3 is correct. It allocated the 3 western rivers Indus, Chenab and Jhelum to Pakistan for unrestricted use, barring certain non-consumptive, agricultural and domestic uses by India, and the 3 eastern rivers, Ravi, Beas and Satluj, were allocated to India for unrestricted usage. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, World Investment Report is released by which of the following? United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, or World Trade Organization? The correct answer is option A, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Recently, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development published its World Investment Report 2023. The report provides insights into foreign direct investment trends in developing countries. The report shows that global foreign direct investment fell 12% in 2022 and analyzes how investment policy and capital market trends impact investment in the SDGs, particularly in clean energy. It highlights that developing countries need renewable energy investments of about $1.7 trillion each year but attracted only $544 billion in clean energy FDI in 2022. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding High Seas Treaty. 1. It will ensure the protection and sustainable use of marine biodiversity of areas within the national jurisdiction of a country. 2. It includes provisions to allow for the equitable sharing of knowledge, technologies, and benefits from marine genetic resources. 3. It also includes provision for environmental impact assessments for marine resources exploitation in areas beyond national jurisdictions. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none. The correct answer is option B, only 2. Recently, the UN adopted the Marine Biodiversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction, or the High Seas Treaty. The United Nations has proposed a High Seas Treaty that will ensure the protection and sustainable use of marine biodiversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The treaty also includes provisions to allow for the equitable sharing of knowledge, technologies, and benefits from marine genetic resources. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The new High Seas Treaty stipulates that environmental impact assessments must be completed before any new exploitation of marine resources in areas beyond national jurisdictions. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, what is ambergris sometimes seen in the news? Fish species, satellite, tribal group, rare substance. The correct answer is option D, rare substance. Recently, ambergris worth rupees 4 crore found in carcass of a sperm whale washed upon a shore of the Canary island of La Palma. Ambergris, which means grey amber in French, is a waxy substance that originates from the digestive system of protected sperm whales. Ambergris is a rare substance which contributes to its high demand and high price in the international market. While there is a ban on the possession and trade of ambergris in countries like the USA, Australia, and India, in several other countries it is a tradable commodity, though with limitations in some of them. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Tomato mosaic virus have a larger host pool that includes melon, eggplant, tomato, carrot, lettuce, celery, cucurbits. 2. Cucumber mosaic virus host pool includes tobacco, peppers, and certain ornamental plants. Which of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Recently, 2 mosaic viruses have hit tomato crop in Maharashtra and Karnataka. TOMV belongs to the Virgaviridae family and is closely related to the tobacco mosaic virus. TOMV hosts include tomato, tobacco, peppers, and certain ornamental plants. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. CMV has a much larger host pool that includes cucumber, melon, eggplant, tomato, carrot, lettuce, celery, cucurbits, members of the gourd family including squash, pumpkin, zucchinis, some gourds, etc., and some ornamentals. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Both viruses can cause almost 100% crop loss unless properly treated on time. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Last question is, recently seen in news. Exercise Salvex is being held between which of the following countries? Australia, USA, India, France, India, USA, or Japan, Indonesia. The correct answer is option C, India, USA. Recently, the 7th edition of Indian Navy US Navy Salvage and Explosive Ordnance Disposal Exercise Salvex was conducted from 26 June to 6 July 2023 at Kochi. India and US navies have been participating in joint salvage and EOD exercises since 2005. The exercise saw participation from both the navies, which included the ships INS Nirikshak and USNS Salvor, in addition to specialist diving and EOD teams. Salvex also saw conduct of joint training exercises towards enhancing interoperability, cohesiveness, and gaining from best practices mutually in maritime salvage and EOD operations. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements regarding Swahili language. 1. Swahili language is among the 10 most widely spoken languages in the world. 2. Swahili is an official language of the African Union. Which of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.